All righty, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday to you. On here tonight, we're going to talk about connections and conversions. So we'll give it a minute for everyone to join us. But I'm really excited tonight. I'm going to share with you the first of a two-part series that we're doing, just to give back to the community here, to let you guys know that we're here to help you, support you along the way. And so tonight, we're going to be talking about the first half of it is connections. Now, we're going to teach you tonight how to connect to actually not just other people, but actually to the right kind of thinking, to the right kind of action, and then also to the right kind of people to help elevate and lift your business up. So as we get people joining us, I want you to let me know in the chat. I can't see your name, so just put in the chat where you're calling in from. Donato, great to see you as always. Welcome, sir. And we'll just wait a minute for other people to join us. I see more people coming in. Just let me know in the chat where you guys are calling in from. Tonight is really all about content. It's all about just giving back and giving you guys some value, sharing with you what we know works. Facebook user, welcome. I can't see your name. If you could just put your name in there so I can personally welcome you. Donato from Minnesota. And so I wanted to spend these two classes. We're going to have another one in 2 weeks. Tonight, we're going to talk about connections, because I believe that you can really get the results that you want in your life. You can get unstuck. You can stop procrastinating. You can break through the terror barriers of fear. And you can do that by connecting to the right kind of people, the right kind of community, the right kind of elite coaching, and also the right kind of information. And that's what we're going to share with you here tonight. Hello, Pamela. Great to see you as well. And so for those of you who are just tuning in, obviously, we want to welcome you to the Million and You Facebook community. This is a community of people who are dedicated really to making a difference in the world. And we've decided a long time ago that our mission is to really help people understand that through relationships and through connections, you can change the world. And you just never know. It's just you're only one connection away from having the life of your dreams. And so we've been able to very successfully help train our students, our clients, how to do that, how to build the relationships they want, how to build the income they want, how to build and create actually the lifestyle that they want. And so we want to share that with you here tonight. We'll just wait for another few seconds or so before we get started. Thank you very much. I'm traveling the world and making money. Would love to know who that is. If you will put your name in there. I know it says, "Hey, John," but I can't see it because we're using StreamYard. So put your name inside the chat. I'm glad you're traveling the world, and thank you for letting us know that you're living your dream life. So, Mensur, of course. Hello, Mensur. Great to see you. You are just a really cornerstone of the Million and You community. You have been just an inspiration for me and so many people in the group. I know it hasn't always been easy, but you have persevered. And boy, if you get an opportunity to know Mensur, you guys make sure you do that. Jackie, wow, awesome. Great to see you, Jackie, as well. John Bolden, great to see you here. So excited to see so many of our past and present clients. So let's get started. I want to share with you. Actually, I want to talk tonight about connections, right? And then in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about conversions. How do we now build the relationships we want and then convert those into results? How do we get the income that we want? After we establish and build those relationships, how can we have the income we want? How can we create the lifestyle we want? And I was trained by the best, right? My mentor and dear friend, he just would have been 88 on July 5th. Bob Proctor taught me that success is really 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. I had it the other way around. I was always thinking I have to do something different. I have to, go to another class, buy another program, do something different, do some other kind of marketing. And yet when I got the opportunity to meet Bob, he told me, "John, you need to think differently, not do differently." And my whole world changed. When he talked to me about shifting my paradigm, shifting my understanding, my results skyrocketed. And now we actually have a company that we have clients in 26 countries all over the world and impacting people to really understand that they can live their dream life. Lisa Reagan, great to see you as well. And so let's get started. I put together, I love some teaching from slides and also just sharing with you, guiding you here. So I want to just share some slides with you. And then I'm going to share a huge announcement that we have coming up. It's something really special. I'm excited. It's something that is going to be live in person, and we're going to share it with you when I'm done. So get ready to write. Again, just take some great notes, and let me share my screen. Share a screen. I had my little technical challenge last time. 1 second, you guys. All right, there we go. And All right. I think 1 second, everyone. I had this challenge last time, didn't I? All right. Upload my file. All right, you guys, forgive me 1 second. Let me just get this put together. All right, as we do that, let me know. A couple of you just joined in, and so let me know where you're also calling in from as I get my, there we go, uploaded into StreamYard. All right, so Fernanda, if you could, I'm not sure why this is not opening. All right. 1 second, you guys. Fernando, if you could come help me get this file uploaded. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do that. All right. Jacqueline, Queens, New York. Great to see you. 1 second. There it is here. Upload the file. And then it says... 1 second, you guys. Apologies. It is not showing. So I'm going to have to see what we have going on here. Let me try to bring it up in another screen. LS, great to see you. All right. So this is what I want you to ask yourself a question. Now, how would you guys feel? We're going to use these slides for a second until I get the other ones brought up. But this is actually the old slides I have. James, great to see you. Over here. All right. And so I am not sure why it's not letting me upload the new one, but just bear with me, you guys, 1 second. You can screen share, but the file is too big. Yeah, this file said the file is too big, you guys. So 1 second, I got to figure out how to fix that little problem. But as we do that, great to see you guys. 1 second here. Just going to upload that. As we do, I want you to think about the network right now that you surround yourself with. I want you to ask yourself, how would you feel if you had a powerful network of people that you could call, millionaires, billionaires, industry leaders, joint venture partners? How would you feel? How would that really change and transform your business? Let me know in the chat what that would do for you. If you had a network like you see on the screen right now, how would you feel if you had people in your network that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, even billionaires? Yes, billionaires. That's what's possible when you learn how to connect to the right kind of people. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is how can you, with what you perceive as no connections, be able to build and create a network of people that are impacting and influencing people all over the world. And so that is what's possible for all of you. Now, what is it costing you right now? I want you to ask yourself to not have the right kind of network in sales and dollars, not being able to live that dream lifestyle. What's it costing you in terms of money, freedom, time? You can't expand. You can't grow. Johnny Lewis, great to see you, sir. And you can't even hire more staff, right? You can't give back to your community. And so you almost feel like you're handicapped and handcuffed because you are feeling like your results are determined by something outside of yourself. And so not to be able to take that dream vacation, what is that costing you not to be able to do that? And so I want you to let me know in the chat. Hello from New York. Dazed. Someone says they would be dazed. Honestly, dazed. And so what else? Hello from Delaware. We attracted you. Thank you very much. I'm going to just pull up the right. You know what, you guys, let's just use these slides. I apologize, you guys. So Albert Einstein said, there has been a quantum leap technologically in our age. And unless there's another quantum leap in human relations, unless we learn to live in a new way towards one another, there's going to be a catastrophe. What's happening? You guys see it all over the world, right? We've got wars breaking out. People are numbed out. They're driving through life, just numbing themselves out, right? And I talked about this last month as we talked about this. People are just kind of, they're being inundated with the easy way out, right? No longer taking the time to think, right? They're scrolling through life, being TikTok to death, right? And how many times are you finding yourself getting sucked into that? Kerry Watson, great to see you. And so, what I want to share with you briefly is my story about how you can actually change your whole life and transform everything. All right. So, for those who don't know me, haven't heard me speak before, my name is John Tellerico. I am a results coach. Why? Because at the end of the day, results are the name of the game. So, I've been able to connect to the right kind of people, the right kind of mentors that have allowed me to live my dream life. I've been able to speak all over the world. Just came back from the British Virgin Islands. Just recently gave a TEDx talk, and I've been very blessed. I have a business that I believe is helping change and transforms people's lives all over the world. I'm a self-taught entrepreneur, and today I design my own life for freedom. I had a lot of ups and downs, though. It was not easy. So I know what it's like, you guys. I know what it's like to, great to see you, Larry, to not have the right tools, right? Or have the right thinking or the right connections to get where you want. And I am proof that anyone can overcome anything. Now, I've worked with some amazing clients. There's Les Brown and I, another mentor of mine, and actually he's now my client with Lewis Howes. As I said, my dear friend and mentor, great to see you. Bob Proctor, Sonia Riccati, for those of you who don't know her, and she's one of the top people in the personal development space and the producer of the Unsinkable movie. And also there's Damon John from Shark Tank. I shared an office with him for 2.5 years in the Empire State Building. Again, all this happened not because I had any connections, but I was able to apply the strategies I want to share with you guys here tonight. And so, just trying to see why we can't get that presentation up for you guys. But anyway, let's keep going on. And there is some of my other clients. Patty Stanger, for those of you who know her, the Millionaire Matchmaker. Shah Rukh Khan, Grant Cardone, Akon, been able to travel all over the world with him, Onyx Singhal. And so I also devote myself to bigger missions. One of the things that I loved to do before COVID was go on missions where we would help give kids hearing aids all over the world with Starkey Hearing Foundation. Also was a big brother for a while, and was a volunteer for Free Arts for Abused Children. Great to see so many. Becky Barker, great to see you guys. I just have to take a moment and acknowledge this man holds a very special place in my heart. He was actually the first person who took a chance on me. He was my client number one, Larry Normal, and it's great to see you, Larry, as always. Great to have you here. Now, connections. When we talk about connecting to the right kind of thinking, right kind of people, we have to understand the word networking. And the reason that so many of us get so much anxiety around the word networking is because we've been taught it the wrong way. Now, if you look at what networking is, it's simply interacting with other people to exchange information. That's all it is. And it is really, it's just about to help further one's career. That's all it is. And so when you understand that, you start to realize that we're all in this together, that in order to move forward, we have to have connections. We have to meet other people. We have to have other people help us grow. And so we're all in this, and we're all in business here to make money, right? Even the nonprofit companies, if you have a nonprofit, your mission, your goal is to actually make more connections so you can get more donations. So again, as I said earlier, results are the name of the game. Now, when I implemented what I'm going to share with you guys here tonight, my life started to take off. I was there in the offices of Facebook, was one of Bob Proctor's top coaches, top 1% of coaches in the world out of 3,000 coaches and consultants. There I am being interviewed on Onyx Singhal's podcast. And so when you apply these 7 laws of networking, you can build the connections that you want. Now I'm going to actually take these slides off because actually I had something else prepared for you guys tonight. And I want to see how we can actually try to get the right presentation for you guys, because I spent a lot of time doing this for you guys. So what I'm going to do is try one last time to see why we can't get this up for you guys. All right. And then we'll do that. Now, in the meantime, what I want to talk about is when you think about connections, when you think about connecting to the right kind of mindset, when you think about connecting to the right kind of people, you have to remember that everything has a frequency, that your mind and your thinking, they have to operate on the same frequency as a goal. Now, in order to do that, what do we have to do? We have to have a goal. So if you're talking about building connections, if you want to connect to the right kind of income, you need a goal. You need an income goal. If you want to connect to the right kind of people, you need a goal. I acknowledged Larry a little while ago. He is an amazing artist and just a businessman, entrepreneur. He wanted to connect to the right kind of TV people, right? He's working on a television show. And so he has a goal. And guess what happens? When you have a goal, it's not enough just to have the goal. You have to get emotionally involved and be on that same frequency. You have to get emotionally involved so that you can connect emotionally to the goal so that you can kind of see the wish fulfilled, and then you actually start to do things differently than you've ever done before. You kind of change the dial from disconnected to connected, just like a radio station, right? When you're in your car, there's hundreds and hundreds of stations in there. And if you don't like something, what do? You change it. Same thing with your life. And if your goals and your dreams, if you don't like your results, then let's change it. Let's move the dial. But in order to move that dial, we need to know what we want, what we truly, really want, not what we think we can get. So what we're talking about tonight is connecting to the right kind of goal and the right kind of thinking and the right kind of action. And so there are two things that you need to know to live your dream life. What are they? The number one is you need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're at right now. So if you want to build connections, you want to connect to a certain income level, if you want to connect to a certain person, you have to know, okay, here's where I'm at. I don't think I have any connections. I don't have a goal, so I'm going to set a goal. And the second thing you need to know is what? Where you're going. It's all you need to know. Those two things to live your dream life. Now, if it's so simple, why are so many people stuck? Why do we go to seminars? I did this for years. We would go to seminars, buy courses, hire coaches, and get excited, right? We'd start out strong, and what happens? Back to the same old routine. The change wasn't permanent. We walk the coals, right? We break the boards, do all that other stuff, and we're on top of the world for a few days, maybe a few weeks. And then we go right back to frustration, procrastination, feeling stuck, feeling fed up. And why is that? Why don't we have the right connections? Why aren't we connecting to the right income that we want in our life? Why aren't we connecting to the right people? The answer lies in something called a paradigm. The paradigm is a mental program, just like your computer, just like your cell phone, right? There's programs inside of there. And a paradigm is in your subconscious, and it has almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. Almost all of your behavior is habitual. The way you get up in the morning, the side of the bed you get up on, the way you put on your clothes in the morning, how you eat, relax, how you connect with other people, the amount of money you make. And so no matter how hard you try, it's difficult to earn more money. It's difficult to make those connections that you want to make until you change the mental program. This is where Bob opened my eyes, because I was thinking I had to change the action, the things that I was doing. And so what he taught me was to understand that I had to shift my thinking, not my doing. And when I did that, everything changed. Everything changed. And so when the paradigm stays in control, absolutely nothing will change. So the key to getting what you want, to connecting to who you want, to connecting to the right income, the right lifestyle, the right people, network, is to understand you have to change the paradigm. Now, there are only two ways to change a paradigm that I know that have ever worked. One is an emotional impact. That's something usually very negative, right? COVID, it was an emotional impact on all of us. 9/11 was another one. And that's not usually something very positive. The other way is through constant repetition with elite level coaching, studying the same material over and over again, doing the same thing, developing a daily success ritual over and over again. And when you do that, you can start to connect, you can start to network your way to whatever results you want in life. And that requires you to make some decisions today. So I want you to think about some decisions that you can make actually right now. If you don't have a goal, we're halfway through the year. If you don't have an income goal for this year, by the end of December 31st, I want you to set an income goal right now, tonight. And I want you to write it out in a very specific way. I'm so happy and grateful now that by December 31st, 2022, I am earning $1 million or more per year. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. But let's make a decision. Back to connections. I want you to make another decision today. Who is that one person that you want to connect with? I want you to put in the chat. I want you guys to give me some names of who are some people that you would love to connect with. I want to see some names in that chat. All right. Just wait for a minute, because great to see you as well. There's just a second or two delay. So I want to make sure that I wait. I want to see some names in here that you want to connect with. Maybe it's Les Brown. Maybe it's Johnny Lewis wants to connect with Brian Dawkins. Johnny knows that's an easy one, right? Because Brian, actually, he's an NFL Hall of Famer, and he's one of our clients. Floyd, good to see you, sir. Who else would you love to connect with? That if you connected with that person and maybe could partner with them, would change everything for you, would change the trajectory of your life. Kevin Hart, Adam Sandler. Who else do you guys have? Let me know some other names in there. All right, so make a decision tonight that you're going to find the person that you want to connect with and that you're going to start to think differently. Les Brown, Kevin Gates, Master P. Excellent. Now, I love this quote by Kenneth Blanchard. And Kenneth Blanchard said, there is a difference between interest and commitment. So I want all of you watching right now and watching on the replay to commit to connecting to a new way of thinking, a new way of doing, and then a new way of achieving. Now, Kenneth Blanchard says, when you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient, right? You know, you guys will always find a way to get whatever you want, right? You want that new phone, that big screen TV, the new car, we'll always find a way. But when you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. When you're committed to personal development, when you're committed to connecting to the lifestyle of your dreams, there are no more excuses. 100% responsibility and 100% all in. Only results. And so that's a big difference. So I want you to actually remember that quote, a difference between an interest in something and a commitment. And that's what happened to me when I made a commitment to change my life, because I'd hit rock bottom in 2009. And I was ready to give up. I know how many of you understand, right? You feel stuck, frustrated. You start procrastinating. What do? We start to beat ourselves up, not as far along as we think we should be in life. And it's not a good place to be, right? And we have a choice as we come to that crossroad. We can continue doing what we're doing, being the victim, right? And just kind of going through the motions of life, tiptoeing to the end, hoping we never wake up anyone, our goals and dreams. Or we can say, enough. I'm going to commit. I'm all in. I'm going to connect to what I truly, really want. I'm going to connect to the right kind of thinking, understanding that goal achievement is all done by law and that it works by God's law and everything. When you do it in a certain way, you can achieve whatever you want. Now, the next thing you want to do as you start to think about connecting to the right kind of people, the right kind of thinking, the right kind of behavior, is to remember that you have been gifted these 6 spiritual gifts, your higher mental faculties that we so often forget. And when you start to operate from those, when you start to use those when it comes to seeing your goal or seeing the wish fulfilled or deciding who you want to connect with or what you want to connect to, when you use your higher mental faculties, it opens up a whole new world for you. Now, what are they? Well, the first one is your will, the ability to focus, the ability to tune out all these distractions, to catch yourself when you find yourself scrolling through those reels and TikTok and all these videos before you know it, there's an hour or two gone by. It's the ability to discipline yourself and focus on one thing to the exclusion of all other things. So work on your willpower. The second one we have is our perception, right? Nothing is either good or bad, big or small. It's how we perceive it to be. So when you think about, well, I don't know how I'm going to get to Kevin Hart. I don't have any connections. I don't know anybody. I want you to change your perception and think, rather, I don't know anyone. Who do I know? Or who do I know that may know somebody that may know this person? One thing I found is that people love to help. They really do. And so when you start to change how you look at things, the thing, I believe Wayne Dyer said that, right? The thing you look at changes. The third spiritual gift we have, our third higher mental faculty, is our memory. The ability to know that by thinking differently, you're achieving different results. Every week in our coaching program, what do? We start each class with people sharing and celebrating their wins. Why? Because they're actually thinking differently. And guess what happens? They're achieving and making quantum leaps in their income, in their connections. And so it's important that we train. There's no such thing as a bad memory. There's only a weak memory. So we can develop a stronger memory. The fourth one is your reason, the ability to think, the ability to choose in each and every moment a thought. Now, we talked about paradigms earlier, and I don't want to go, I can talk for days on this, but the ability to reason. Are we really choosing a positive or negative thought? Are we spending time on productive activities or non-productive activities? Are we developing the awareness to understand how my mind actually works? Because your thinking's got you the results up until now that you have been achieving. Now, another thing is that if you follow a lot of the science, the brain scientists, people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, you'll hear them all agree that 96 to 98% of what we do all day long, even though we think we are in charge, is programmed from the subconscious mind, from the paradigms. So to connect to more better results, to connect to different people, we have to change that subconscious programming. How do we do that? Well, we use our fifth and the greatest of all our spiritual gifts, our higher mental faculties, our imagination, the ability to dream again, right? The ability to close our eyes and see the wish fulfilled, the ability to not look at past results, but look at future possibilities and live it from the present moment. The ability to dream, the ability to decide, I don't care, because if I can decide what I really truly want, and if I'm able to do it, then I can say I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And then what happens? We move with faith. We move with that unwavering faith, and opportunity starts to happen. People, places, things start to show up in your life. And because it all works by law. The sixth spiritual gift is obviously your intuition. Trusting that everything does work by law. Trusting that you will make the connections you want. You will get the income, the results, the people, and the network that you want by doing things in a certain way. Now, let's talk about that certain way. I don't want to go into all these. I shared a slide earlier about the 7 steps to really connect to anyone. And I'll just briefly go over those, right? The first one is, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Make a decision. Decide right now that you're going to connect to the right income goal, that you're going to connect to a different kind of thinking than you have for the first half this year, or maybe for a very long time. Be open to new possibilities. And then what do we want to do? After we make a decision that says, okay, I want to connect to this person. Then what? We want to start step number 2. We want to start to do our research. We want to start to research, what is it that really moves this person? What is important to them? Family, friends, school, university, alumni, charity. Gather all kinds of information so you can start to develop an understanding. Why? Because that's going to come into play when we get to step number 4. So you want to do all your research between social media, LinkedIn, the internet, right? You can find out so much about a person. You want to find out what is the thing that really excites them. And then step 3, you want to start to get an understanding of who is in their inner circle. Who are the gatekeepers, I call them, right? I call them that one person removed. It's the publicist, the agent, the PR person, the lawyer, the business manager, the crew from high school, right? It's the PR person, the executive secretary, who's in that first inner circle, and then start to expand out. This is where you want to start to use your imagination and say, I don't care, but I'm going to continue to look through my own connections. All of you have a built-in gold mine of a network that you don't even realize you have. And I always talk about being 2 people removed from anyone in the world, and I can prove it. I've shown it before when I speak. I believe that you can connect anyone in the world through 1 or 2 connections. Some of you, I saw you put down Brian Dawkins, Les Brown. Now, I already know them, right? They're my clients. So now you all know me. So you are literally 1 person away from those people. Now, that's what's possible when you start to think, when you start to dream again. Like, who do I know? And then so you're doing your research. Okay, who do I know that may know somebody inside of that inner circle? And yeah, you're going to have to spend some time doing this, but you kind of reverse engineer the whole process. I saw something recently on LinkedIn that they actually tell you this person knows this person who knows that person. So they kind of already do it for you. And then you start to gather information and research that person. Why? Because step number 4 to connect to anyone is to do what I call little things for big connections. And this has really been the foundation of all the relationships that you saw, those people that I've been blessed and fortunate enough to build partnerships and relationships with. Now, if I can do this, I know any of you can. I didn't take time to really get into my story. I grew up in a small rundown, blue-collar town of Flint, Michigan. I love my hometown, but it was an auto town, right? And so it was destroyed. And so, but I wanted more. I decided that I would pour myself into studying information, but the right kind of information, not the stuff they teach you in school. Books like Think and Grow Rich, The Greatest Salesman in the World, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People. And so all of you, you don't need any more information. You just need to know how to apply the right kind of information. And that's what we teach. So in step number 4, this works. It really works. This has allowed me to build relationships with some of the most powerful, influential, amazing people in the world. People like Bob Proctor. So what happened? Some of the leaders that you want to meet, right? Millionaires, billionaires, industry leaders, celebrities, they already have probably everything that you think that you can give them, right? They've got the money, they've got the notoriety, they've got the fame, They've reached the pinnacle of their industry. So that's where this mind starts to say, well, Leroya or Johnny, what do you have that they could offer? That's why you want to do your research, because you want to find that special thing that's going to make a huge difference in their life. Now, I sat there in the back of Bob Proctor's class called The Paradigm Shift for 2.5 days, broken, busted, defeated, beaten, right? But I was not ready to completely give up. And I sat there and I started listening to this man for 2.5 days. And I said to myself, he is onto something here, because he's got people all over the world that are following him, getting amazing results, changing what they're thinking, not what they're doing. And I'm like, somehow I want to be in this inner circle. I want to be close to him so that he will help mentor me, so that I can be around him, because I need to change the people that I was around. How many of you think that you need a kind of a reset on maybe the 5 or more closest people in your network? Let me know in the chat. How many of you think it's time to clean house? Spring is long gone, but you can still have that summer cleaning. Me? Yes, I did, Mr. President. Yes, exactly, you guys. And so I sat there and I thought to myself, what is it that I could do to even get him to notice me? Well, guess what happened? Over the course of those 2 days, when you start to just allow yourself to imagine, to dream, to pay attention, then what happens? He played a song. A lot of you have heard this story before, right? He played one song the whole weekend, 2.5 days. I found the guy. It turned out he was still alive. He was recluse. I hunted him down. And guess what? I was able to get him to autograph that album for Bob. That album, framed now, sits with a plaque to Bob Proctor. Thank you for helping me see clearly. And all the song was "It's Going to Be a Bright, Bright, Sunshiny Day" by Johnny Nash. Thankfully, I was able to spend some time with Bob in November last year. And his wife, Linda, showed me that framed thing, sat in his bathroom every morning. He would see that. And so from that, spent $5 on eBay. From that, developed a multi-million-dollar partnership, a mentorship that you can't even put a value on. That man studied human success and potential for 60 years. So that's what's possible for all of you. You can connect anybody when you start to open up your imagination. Step number 5 is planning. You want to plan. And we're going to talk about this in 2 weeks when we talk about how to now take the connection and convert that into a deal, into a joint venture partnership, into a new amount of income. And then step 6 is persistence, where you don't want to be a nuisance and a pest, but you want to be persistent. You want to be taking daily action. And then step 7 is obviously maintenance. You want to maintain that relationship after you build it. Why? Because there's a big difference between manipulation and actually giving without expecting things in return. Now, I was perfectly okay when I dropped that framed album off, that if I never heard from Bob Proctor again, I was okay. And I want you all to remember that. Now, those names that you listed in there, you don't need anybody to help you achieve your goal and dream, because your goal and dream is dependent on one person and one person alone, and that is you. And so, yes, it'll be great when you connect to those people. Yes, it'll be great. It will accelerate it, but it's not going to define it. Absolutely not. So I left there that event, and actually I was so afraid I just left it at the front desk. But I left there and I was totally okay. Because why? I knew somehow that would get to him, and I knew it would touch his heart and put a smile on his face. And that's where you just want to be open. Let it go. Let go of the expectation of the result. That is not leaving people with the impression of increase. That's manipulating people for the impression of my own benefit. And so that's not what connecting and networking is about at all. It's about building relationships. All those people there you saw, actually, most of them are now my friends, and some of them are my very close friends. Onyx Singal is one of my best friends. Sonia Riccati, one of my close friends. Alicia Little. And so that's what's possible. You can actually start to build now an amazing network when you start to apply these steps. Now, one of my favorite quotes is by Albert Schweitzer. And he says, sometimes our light goes out. 2009, my light was out. I thought it was completely gone. But it is blown again into a flame, he says, by an encounter with another human being. A connection, right? I heard Bob Proctor speak. By a connection with another human being. Each of us owes the deepest thanks to those who have rekindled this inner light. I promised Bob that I would carry on his message and that I would share this information with other people. And so we here at The Millionaire You want to be the light that leads you to the connections that you want, to the income that you want, to the lifestyle that you want, so that you can live the life of your dreams. That's what we're really doing here. And so I hope you guys found this very helpful. I apologize for my technical little difficulties earlier on. I don't know what happened, but that's all right. We just go with the flow, and everything happens how it's supposed to. So I told you I'm going to have a big announcement. So I'm going to let you guys know what that is in a second. If you had any questions about what I shared tonight, please put it in the chat and let me know. But again, this is really about connecting and then converting. Let's connect to a new way of thinking instead of a new way of doing. Let's connect to the income that we want, the lifestyle that we want, and the people that we want. And that's what we teach. And then in a couple weeks, when we come back, we're going to have another class, same time. We're going to talk about converting, because what did I say earlier? Results are the name of the game. We're going to show you how to get the results in your life that you want. Now, the special announcement is we are going to be hosting our very first ever live event called Breakthrough on September 10th in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're going to have a very special guest. Speaking of building connections and relationships, the legendary Mr. Les Brown will be joining us as a guest speaker that day. And so super excited. We just got back, Fernanda and I, from seeing the venue. We signed the contract, and it's a go. It is conveniently located in a little bit north of Atlanta. Les lives there, so I know he's coming. He's very close by. So the event is called Breakthrough. It's really about breaking through limiting beliefs, breaking through the lack and frustration that you've had, breaking through stuff that's not working, to live the life that you were meant to live a life of financial freedom, of joy, happiness, wisdom, and peace and harmony, right? And love and fun. And so to reserve your seat, if you go to, we put the website up there, johntellerico.us. I chose that domain on purpose. Why? Because it's about us. It's not about me. It's not about, it's about us collectively, the Million in You community, helping to impact and change the world and change lives. And so go there. You'll find out the ticket information. We've got different packages there. One of them is going to, I believe it's the diamond package, will allow you to have lunch with Les Brown and myself and have a Q&A with him. And so you can click on the link, Fernanda, if you'll put it in the chat. Super excited. I know it's been a long road. We've had to postpone this event a couple times because of circumstances and all of that. But now, September 10th at 9 a.m., we're going to be there at the Doubletree Hotel. All the information you'll find on the website. We have a nice page there describing all the events. Now, the second half of this class, I'll be back in 2 weeks, you guys, to talk about how do we now convert. John, great. Okay, so I'm starting to make connections, but they're not getting me anywhere. How do I convert? Okay, John, I set a goal. How do I convert now that income goal? How do I convert now the relationships, the joint venture partnerships that I want, that are going to get me the results that I really desire? And so that's what we're going to be talking about in 2 weeks. Now, at the end of this month, I'm also hosting a very special 3-day event. I would love for all of you to attend. We're going to go dive deeper into all of this. Really, it's called Networking Secrets. We're going to spend 3 full days. We're going to be live for an hour each day. We've got a great workbook. We've got a great training for you guys planned out. You can register. It's absolutely free. It's to really share and guide you more on how to really accelerate your results, how to really level up your connections, and how to network so that you can achieve the results that you want. James says he doesn't see the link. Fernanda, can you put the link in the chat? Let me see here, you guys. It should be, if you just go to this link, James.us. You should be able to click on that website, Fernanda. I'm not sure if you guys, James, if you go to johntellerico.us, you'll find the link for the live event in there. We'll share more about the 3-day event in a couple weeks as well, but we wanted to at least let you guys know. Hope to see all of you, even those of you who are calling internationally at the live event in Atlanta. I want to thank you guys. Again, apologize for the little technical challenge earlier. I will be ready to go in 2 weeks and make sure my slides are ready to go. But I wanted to share this information with you. So again, those 2 things I asked you to do tonight, right? Set an income goal that you want to connect with by the end of the year. Make a list. Decide. I would pick 1 or 2 people that you would love to connect with in the next few months that would really change the trajectory of your life and of your results. And let's go make it happen. All right. So have a great rest of your week, you guys. Want to thank you for tuning in. Want to participate. Someone says they're in Atlanta. Also, that's great. So the 3-day event is, Fernanda actually just put the link in the chat for that. You can register for free. We're going to be hosting that on Zoom. And so that is coming up July 27th through the 29th. All right, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Again, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you, Donato. Thank you, Pamela, Fernanda, and the rest of the team. I see so many of our past clients here. Great to see you, Jackie, as well. Larry, thank you for checking in, tuning in. Laroya, and sorry, who else is in here? But it was great to see you guys. All right. Have a great rest of your night. Take care. Bye.